All right, different setup this time. I don't have a lot of tapes this time to share. I don't have any puns either for this week. I just am going to get right to it. And it's right here. I'm going to start with B. Black Flag Live 84, the weird re-release from what it, according to Discogs, is 1998. And I've got I think at least one copy of this, the regular copy, but this I've been looking for about at least a decade now, and I finally got one, $30. And I don't know why Black Flag was making a re-release of this thing in 98. It's a mystery to me if it really is from 98. It does seem to be modern compared to the other one. Seems to have a more colorful photograph or something. Along with that one, I got a copy of Def Leppard Rocket, which is something that I in the 7th grade on the band trip listened to for the first time, I think. And not a rock band, by the way, a concert band. But yeah, it was for like 87. I guess, if you were like a kid in 83, Michael Jackson is kind of kids' music. And I don't know what you might be listening to in 85, maybe Bruce Springsteen. In 87, it's going to be all about Def Leppard, if you're my age. And then by the time you're in high school, like the hair metal thing isn't doing it anymore. Maybe in 90, Guns N' Roses or something. But then by 91, it's Nirvana and it's the Seattle scene if you're of age to be, into that kind of music. It made a lot of sense at the time. Dennis the Menace, that's a pretty good soundtrack considering I don't understand. Like, I guess Goldsmith must have been a fan of the comic or something. I don't know why he agreed to do Dennis the Menace, but it seemed like I saw a few clips of it just out of curiosity, and it seemed kind of questionable, not a very good movie. And I don't know why they wouldn't have had Phil Hartman play Mr. Wilson instead of whoever they did. Anyway, let's see. This one's pretty good here. The Harvest Story. It is a the Harvest label. I did apparently had a huge number of hits in Britain in the 70s or late 60s, 70s, including like a lot of Pink Floyd albums were on Harvest. Anyway, that doesn't really have any Pink Floyd. It's got some Syd Barrett, but it tells the story of that. The I Shot Andy Warhol soundtrack has featured David Bowie, I believe, is Andy Warhol. I forget what's on it, but this is the promo version. If it'll focus, which it won't. There we go. Yeah. Oh, and then the actual version. I believe the actual version is from, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Taiwan or somewhere like that. Not an American version, I don't think. And then we've got, this is the real heart of the Eyes here. The incredible string band, who I've gotten into in the last, 5-6 years as being just, they're just awesome. They're like a hippie British band. They've got, just an endless sort of creativity going on. And I really liked especially 5,000 Spirits, Layers, the Onion, and the Hangman's Beautiful Daughter were like probably my favorite ones, as I think are a lot of people's, if you like them. Yep, I've got even more in my other collection, so I've got quite a bit. There's a couple I still don't have yet, but it's getting there. Indigo Sparkle. It's like a John Carpenter tape series of like people. I think this one might have all been like dub music from like Jamaican dub type stuff, I think. They have like weird wildlife on them. There's one for Mort Garson. And then finally, I think this is my favorite Iron and Wine right here. I feel like, the first Iron Wine is nice, but maybe it's not. I feel like now, or did I think that about something else? Well, let me just say it. I think that this one is probably more refined, and therefore, and they're just at the point now where it's more seamless and less a little less clunky than the original Iron and Wine. Clunky is not really a word I would. Well, no, wait, no, I'm sorry, that was Fleet Foxes. I'm sorry, I get them confused. But I think this Iron Wine was also really good. That's right, I did say that about the Fleet Foxes. Well, I get things mixed up. Iron Butterfly Heavy. I think that was good. Of course, the best Iron Butterfly is Inagata Devita, which is a fun album, like all the way through, not just the title song. I actually really like the other Iron Butterfly songs on there. They're just fun. And then, of course, Bon Iver, the most recent one. And that's about it for Eyes. Since nobody really watches these videos, I think I can just talk a little bit about the destination for these tapes one day. There's two possibilities, and I know I've kind of brought them up. I've kind of mentioned this, but let me just be a little bit more, let me be a bit more thorough or detailed about what I'm talking about here. There's a couple possibilities. One, it could be part of a museum. That would be my favorite. That would be my number one choice for this music collection. Part of the Smithsonian or some such thing, the Library of Congress, whatever it is, or some such thing where I know that they're able to be displayed. And, if there's like maybe a better copy than this one, for example. These ones are new, so I think these are fine for display. But, basically it would be part of a much larger collection. And if you ran it like 34 feet, I believe it would take 34 feet on either side. You could do basically my entire 23,000 cassettes. And then maybe some other things in like a hallway if they were on both sides. And like you're going like 10 feet high enough that you can see the tiny one and the lowest one. But you just walk through this hallway with like plexiglass on each side and you could see, all of the tapes. And it wouldn't take that much and it would be amazing. And I think it's going to be interesting to for people to see this like 50 years from now or something. The other alternative is that I just kind of glue the tapes into the liners and the liners into the cases, which would kind of ruin it, but it would prevent it from being resold and broken up. And then I would just kind of glue everything together here. So all of these things would be glued